are the most awesome, epic, goated locations throughout Fortnite's history that somehow we all forgot about. And seriously, some of these you won't believe you forgot. At the beginning of Chapter 2, Season 1, the brand new island, a goated location was in the center of the map. What is crazy about this unnamed location is it lasted less than 1 season, when quickly during the Fortnite nightmares, it turned into a zombie-infested island. You may also remember this island as being the location where Midas first appeared, because literal golden furniture started arriving in Fortnite at this location. This was because Epic Games had a plan in the next season to ultimately turn this OG location into the agency. But we're not talking about the agency. No, we're talking about this OG location that we all forgot about, and it was the best. Throughout Fortnite's history, we have seen many different types of biomes, but there's only been one biome that has only ever appeared once in a tiny part of our Fortnite map, and it has never returned. All the way in Season 8 of Chapter 1, players found this weird brown swampy biome that literally was a nameless location. In fact, even getting footage of this location was really difficult, because even when it was in the game, nobody ever went there. This gross brown biome, covered in puddles of water, had something to do with the arrival of the volcano. And there was only one quest in that season that meant players would actually have to go over to it. Oh yeah! And Epic Games even added a fish, probably to try and encourage players to check the area out. Yeah, this one didn't work. This is the only biome that featured this gross brown look with giant puddles of water. And through the future of Fortnite, it never made a return. This is one location, understandably, that we completely forgot about. Yuck! I bet you forgot about this. Fortnite's most mysterious location that's never got explained. All the way back in Chapter 2 of Season 6, a mysterious island appeared at the bottom side of our Fortnite island. This mysterious island belonged to Aurelia, who seems to be the queen golden version of Oro. This golden skeleton queen actually patrolled this area underneath a ruinous castle that literally we knew nothing about. With this being a nameless location, we suspected that Epic Games would eventually update this and it would be integrated into the storyline. But it never happened, and eventually in a future update was sadly removed. Everybody forgot about this location because it kind of never existed. It was there and then it was gone, making it one of Fortnite's most mysterious locations that we all forgot about. Here is the oldest Fortnite location that everybody forgot. All the way back at the beginning of Battle Royale, a wooden house in which anybody could actually edit the walls was found, and it was called the player-made house. This was the first location in Fortnite where players could actually edit the walls and change the shape of the building. This was Epic Games' first attempt at this mechanic, and it was an idea that stayed on in Fortnite for many seasons to come. Only OG players who were playing Fortnite at the beginning will remember this location, battling it out in the towers to get the best loot. I would love to know in the comment section, because I think this is the oldest location that everybody forgot about. We love Deadpool, but you may have forgotten about the Deadpool cabin that was in our game all the way back in Chapter 2 of Season 2. Deadpool never had an official location. Well, except the Deadpool yachts, but we're not gonna count that, okay? Okay, look, hey, look, we're getting off the point, okay? Just for a second, forget about it. But in the trailer for Chapter 2 of Season 2, we saw a revolving bookshelf that would lead to some kind of Deadpool location. And in-game, a mysterious cabin actually had this same revolving bookshelf, making players believe that this was secretly Deadpool's cabin. Throughout the season, this cabin featured multiple times because there were many strange goings-on. You guys remember that time where you could destroy a painting and a gold coin would appear? One of the few times that an item was added into game that accidentally should not have been. And we never found out what it was really for. There was even mysterious goings-on underneath the cabin, as this was the location where the teddy bears met to create their secret plan. Deadpool's cabin was in-game in Season 2 of Chapter 2. It's iconic, and a location that sadly we all forgot about. Yo, I completely forgot about this location. The waterfall. And the brand new island on Chapter 2 was a hilarious location where players would set up a trap at the bottom of the waterfall, and unsuspecting players would dive off and meet a solid end. There was a bunch of videos, memes made by some of the biggest Fortnite channels at this time, and this waterfall became iconic to Chapter 2. But what's interesting is Epic Games never bothered to add this in ever again. We never saw a location with a hilarious trap that players could play on one another. Epic probably probably thought this waterfall was a mistake and couldn't get it removed. But sadly, it's now gone forever. This is one location that we all forgot about. At the beginning of Chapter 3 on our brand new island, we saw the arrival of the giant foundation statue. We all remember the foundation statue, but we don't remember what is underneath. A secret locked door that players believed would open throughout Chapter 3 and reveal the foundation's secrets was on our island. But mysteriously, Epic Games never actually opened this location up. And the only way we could see inside was glitching underneath. Little was revealed, and this location that should have been a big deal never became a big deal. And as Chapter 3 came to a close and the beginning of Chapter 4, we never found out what was really behind this mysterious door. This may be the greatest secret in Chapter 3, and it's a secret that nobody cares about anymore. It's forgotten, left behind in time, and who knows if Epic Games is ever gonna address it. For that matter, who even cares? One of Fortnite's most loved locations that only lasted one season was the Grotto. Yes, you may have forgot about the Grotto, but I have not. All the way in Chapter 2 of Season 2, the secret underground base owned by Brutus was put into game. This secret underground spy location was a favorite in Chapter 2 of Season 2, and personally was one of my favorites. At the end of Season 2 and the beginning of Season 3, Epic Games decided to lock up the Grotto as our Fortnite islands became flooded, and this was the last time that we ever got to see the Grotto. Players anticipating the return of the Grotto would try to find their way inside the locked double doors, and sadly had little to no luck getting inside. Towards the end of our Chapter 2 islands, the water levels of the Grotto started to lower, and players believed this was the moment we would return to our much beloved location. But no. Fortnite decided to end the chapter and moved our islands to a brand new one, and the secrets of the locked Grotto were lost forever. Many chapters have passed, and we have not seen a location quite like the Grotto since, and it now earns the title of the most loved location that will never return in Fortnite's history. It only survived one season, and Epic Games just doesn't want it back. Did you guys remember the Grotto? I sure know I did. Fortnite's most confusing location is this right here. Towards the end of Chapter 2 Season 3, the flooded season, a mysterious ship actually appeared underneath the water, and as the water drained, it became visible and accessible. This spaceship location belonged to the Space Wanderers, Theo and Sona, who were the two space-related characters that crashed onto our Fortnite island. You might be saying to yourself, how come I've never heard of these Space Wanderers and the spaceship crash on our island? Well, that's because Epic Games didn't really do anything. Didn't really support this storyline in any way. It was unclear at the time what these characters were doing in-game, what they were for, and what purpose Epic Games had for them, including the fact that the spaceship never actually crashed on our island. It just miraculously appeared. This is one of Fortnite's most forgotten storylines that even had a mini-event where you could literally see the spaceship take off. One of the most forgotten storylines, and I think one of the most forgotten locations in Fortnite's history, period. Yo, Epic, this was trash.